What happens when an entire town expects to come back, but never does?
In 1955, 300 people abandoned a gold rush town in British Columbia. They left everything: fresh food on shelves, children's drawings on classroom walls, family photos in homes. The company said the gold ran out, but the evidence suggests something else happened. What really made an entire town disappear? I'm standing in a place that time forgot. My paws are cold, colder than I expected, but this town, it's been frozen for 70 years. This is northern British Columbia, Canada, deep in the wilderness where winter holds on for 8 months of the year. The town you're seeing behind me, it has no name anymore. Maps stopped marking it decades ago. But once, this place was alive. In 1910, gold was discovered in these mountains. Within 2 years, over 300 people called this place home. Families, children, dreams built on promise and possibility. The mine was productive, very productive. For 45 years, gold came out of that mountain, and this town thrived. There was a general store, a schoolhouse, even a small church. Main Street had wooden sidewalks. People planned their futures here. And then, in 1955, the mine went dry. The company didn't waste time. Within 3 months, they were gone. Workers were told to pack what they could carry. Everything else? Leave it. They'd come back for it later, but later never came.
I'm walking down what used to be Main Street. These wooden buildings, they're weathered, gray from decades of exposure, but they're still standing. The cold, dry air preserved them in a way that wouldn't happen anywhere else. You can see my tracks in the dust. I might be the first visitor here in months, maybe longer. The general store is just ahead. The door is open not from me, but from years of wind working the hinges loose. I'm stepping inside now. It's like stepping backward through time. Look at this. Canned goods are still on the shelves. The labels are so faded I can barely read them, but I can make out prices. 15 cents, 25 cents. These were left here in 1955 and never moved again. Behind the counter, there's a ledger book. Someone's handwriting tracking sales. The last entry is dated the 17th of August, 1955. 3 months before winter came, 3 months before everyone left. There's something heartbreaking about seeing coffee cups on the counter, like someone just set them down and walked out for lunch. I'm moving to the next building now, the schoolhouse. The door creaks when I push it open. One room, 20 desks arranged in neat rows, and on the walls, children's drawings are still pinned there. A house with smoke from the chimney, a family of stick figures holding hands, a drawing of the mine with the sun overhead. These children drew their world, not knowing it was about to disappear. There's a chalkboard at the front. The last lesson is still written there, partially erased but visible. Spelling test tomorrow. Study words 1 to 20. Tomorrow never came for that test. I wonder where these children went. Did they adjust to new schools? Did they miss their friends here? Did they ever think about this classroom frozen exactly as they left it? Moving outside again, the main street continues toward the edge of town. That's where the mine entrance is. I need to see it. The mine entrance is larger than I expected. Dark, empty, and surrounding it equipment, ore carts on their sides, rusted tools scattered as if dropped mid-shift. But here's what I don't understand. If the mine was exhausted, if there was no more gold, why is all this equipment still here? Mining equipment was valuable, expensive. Companies didn't just abandon thousands of dollars worth of machinery, unless they left in a hurry, unless something else happened that we don't know about. I'm walking back toward the residential area now. These weren't just workers' barracks, these were homes. Small, but homes. I'm entering one now. The door is unlocked. There are family photos on the wall. A man in mining clothes. A woman with 2 children. Everyone smiling. Behind them, you can see this very street, Main Street, when it was new, when it had hope. The furniture is simple but carefully arranged. A table with 4 chairs. A kitchen with a wood stove. Upstairs, I can see through the ceiling where boards have rotted away. There were bedrooms. Someone built a life here. Someone made dinner at that stove. Someone kissed their children goodnight in those rooms upstairs. And then, in the span of months, it was over. I found something in the back room. Letters. Dozens of letters tied with string. I shouldn't read them. They're not mine, but the envelopes tell a story. They're addressed to this house, from relatives back east, from friends in other towns. The dates stop in 1955, when the mail stopped coming, when the postal service stopped delivering here. That's when this town truly ceased to exist. Not when people left, but when the world stopped acknowledging it was here. I'm walking back outside to see the full picture of this place. From here, you can see the entire town laid out, maybe 40 buildings total. A church steeple still stands, leaning slightly. The thing about gold rush towns, they're built on optimism, on the promise that if you work hard enough, if you dig deep enough, you'll strike it rich. You'll build something permanent, but minerals run out, veins exhaust, and when they do, the dream collapses. What's haunting is how sudden it was. The historical records I found before coming here, the mine owners knew the gold was depleting for at least 2 years, but they didn't tell the workers. They didn't warn the families. So when the announcement came, it wasn't a gradual wind down. It was pack your things, trucks leave in 3 weeks. Imagine being told your entire world has 3 weeks left, done. Where did they go? Some went to other mining towns. Some went back to wherever they came from before the gold rush. Some, the records suggest, never really recovered from the displacement. This town represents something larger than just one abandoned place. It represents how quickly stability can vanish, how a community can dissolve when the economic foundation crumbles. Standing here, surrounded by these empty buildings, I feel the weight of abandoned dreams. Every object left behind, every can on a shelf, every child's drawing, every family photo represents a moment when someone believed they were building something permanent. We want to believe our lives are solid, that the places we build and the communities we form will endure. But this town teaches a different lesson. Nothing is permanent. Not gold veins, not boom towns, not even the promises we make to ourselves about the future. But here's what gives me hope. 70 years later, I'm standing here telling this story. These buildings remain. These objects endure. The people who lived here, their presence is still felt. Memory is more resilient than we think. Even when a town dies, even when everyone leaves, the story survives. This place matters because people mattered here. They loved here. They hoped here. And that doesn't disappear just because the gold ran out. The sun is setting over the mountains now. The temperature is dropping fast. It gets cold here when the sun goes down. Time for me to leave before darkness falls completely. This ghost town will remain frozen in time, exactly as I found it, preserved by the cold, waiting for the next person curious enough to visit, the next person who wants to remember. I'm heading south from here, warmer climates. But abandonment isn't limited to frozen ghost towns in the Canadian wilderness. Next time, I'm visiting a place that promised paradise, a resort that was supposed to be luxury, a development that never opened its doors. What happens when paradise becomes a cage of broken promises? I'll see you there.